Good News collection, Sri Lanka's Pride. This new publication shares positive and uplifting stories from across Sri Lanka and much more.
Hi, I'm Nish.
Hi, I am Lakshan, and we will be answering Living's questions today.
Hi Nish and Lakshan, welcome to Living Gets Real. It's an absolute pleasure to have you all finally with us in the studios today. So we'll start with the first question and I'll address this to you, Lakshan. So you had a great career, many feathers on your hat. What made you want to pursue entrepreneurship on your own? What's the story behind your current venture?
Thank you, Tanya. So let me first start at the outset by saying, yes, been blessed, privileged by the favor and mercy of God to have had a great and fascinating career for the last 22 years. So one of the key advantages that I had during my career is that I was able to dabble and dwell into the corporate sector for many years, but also played a pivotal role in different roles in the government sector as well as the civil society development sector, both with international NGOs and local NGOs. The model which I call and refer to as the Golden Triangle: corporate sector, civil society, and the public-private sector. So with this experience and exposure, I felt the time was right somewhere last year, where I felt with the leadership experience I had, I saw new opportunities. I saw a lot of opportunities not only in the Sri Lankan marketplace, but also in the international marketplace. And hence, decided to venture into my own entrepreneurial journey and set up Solutions Ground Private Limited. In fact, we're celebrating the first year of Solutions Ground anniversary this Sunday on the 12th of October. So with that, I saw a need and a vision to bring in strong leadership to provide solutions to the marketplace, whether it be in the development sector, the private sector, or the state sector. And that's what we've been doing, trying to bridge that gap to support investor relations, looking at mentoring, coaching, and leadership opportunities, and really helping organizations thrive and untap their true potential, whether it be scaling their business operations internationally, shifting their strategies, restructuring their organizations. We are solution providers, and that's what Solutions Ground is about. We have a great team that's growing, and we're doing exciting things and excited for the journey ahead.
Well, congratulations on your 1 year. That's a huge milestone for you.
Thank you.
All right, moving to you, Nish. What inspired you to start Glorious Grounds and Strokes by Nish? And how did your background influence each of these ventures?
So actually, Glorious Ground is a guidance given by my man of God, Prophet Jerome Fernando. So I believe that God spoke to us through him for us to start this journey, and we have been immensely blessed because of it. So Glorious Grounds, the real estate part of it, is a women-led agency, and I feel that women are better at making great spaces, building homes rather than men. I know a lot of men, they're gonna give me beans for this, but the reality is, yes, men are very good at it, but I feel the women have like a better touch to it. So it's not about just a property for us, it's a home that we live in, memories that we take to our next generation, memories that we give our kids. So that is actually the inspiration behind it.
Amazing. And I do agree with you. Women bring this extra oomph into the spaces, right, that we live in. So Lakshan, how has your leadership roles in organizations such as Coke, AmCham, Habitat for Humanity, ILO, and UNICEF, and etc., shaped your approach to driving social change, community impact, and making a difference in the local communities in Sri Lanka and, most importantly, across the world?
So I go back to the original point, Tanya, in terms of exposure. So again, tremendous blessing by God to be exposed to all these different corporates, different exposure to global scenarios. And one thing I learned, whether it was through my role at Coca-Cola or Habitat for Humanity, UNICEF, ILO, like you mentioned, the real world vulnerabilities, what people go through day in and day out, communities, and things that we often, very often, too often, take for granted. And there are so many challenges people go through. And we all have an ability, a responsibility, and the power to make change, to make an impact, to make a difference. So one of the things that we try to bring through all these learnings, through Solutions Ground, through our partners, is we work with grassroots NGOs in Sri Lanka, where we try to design, craft, implement strategies that have local relevancy. So it's not something that works well in one part of the world but may not fit here. So we look at strategies which have local relevancy, which are sustainable, long-term, and not ad hoc, solutions. So that's what we try to craft and mold, and we offer, whether it be our partners like Ape Lanka, for example, is a grassroots NGO that's doing tremendous work in the northern province in providing access to safe drinking water to schools and communities, and doing much more. Organizations like Clean Ocean Force that have a sustainable approach to protecting our coastlines and working with communities to empower communities. And what we want to bring out is impact to the people and communities, but what also impact to our economies through that transformation. So that's what we're trying to do, bring all that together and bring local, relevant, sustainable solutions to communities.
Amazing work. So, Nish, back to you. Why is art so important to you? What's a beautiful piece of art that holds value to you personally?
So I think art is very different to different people, right? To you it might be something else, to me it might be something else. It is how your spirit sees something, it's how your soul sees something. So for me, art is very important because I used to pursue art when I was younger. For a good 20 years I didn't, and then recently I was led by the spirit to pursue it again. And for me, it's my time with my soul, with my spirit, where I totally, have freedom to do whatever I want to. And also, all my pieces are a window for everyone else to look at my soul. I feel that is how it is. And for me, the most precious piece of art that I have created would be a vision that I saw of an angel at the church, the Miracle Dome. So when I came home and when I painted it, when I created it, and every time I look at it, it is for me, I see God's glory, God's love for me when I see it. So I know for each of you also it's like that. It's a part of you that you would see. And when you see somebody else's art, there's a piece of your soul also that connects to it. I think art is a beautiful thing to have, a beautiful thing to behold, and a beautiful thing to create.
Lovely. So, Lakshan, you were talking about some of these organizations in the previous question. How do you help organizations move from merely setting goals to achieving meaningful and sustainable outcomes?
I think it all starts with the intent behind any strategy or goal. So when we talk to the corporate sector, we try to make sure we don't look at any strategy which is ad hoc. That's rule number one. We try to ensure and coach, and a lot of corporates are following this, which is tremendous versus 20 years ago or 10 years ago, making sure it's linked to business. So sometimes when your strategy is not linked to your business operations, things can get more ad hoc. So we tried to make sure that whatever the sustainability agenda, a lot of buzzwords today, ESG goals, the SDG goals, CSR, strategic sustainability, whatever the term that's used, it doesn't matter. As long as there's intent behind it, conviction behind it, that people play the long game to make sure there's real impact on the ground. And there's a top-down belief, because often I find and I see middle management would have strong conviction, but it has to start from the top. It has to start from your leadership team. The vision has to be really ingrained into the DNA of the organization, which starts from the top and goes right down. So I think if you have those core ingredients, magic can happen. And you can make a difference across communities and people and transform lives like never before. And we've seen countless examples, but we just need more responsibility and accountability to come into play. And if I can even add, one of the things I advocate for, and I've seen, for example, in India, you have a mandatory law that 1 to 2% of your net revenue, depending on the amount that you make, has to go into sustainable causes. Would love to see such a law come into play in Sri Lanka a few years down the road, if possible, where every company is mandated by law to pursue doing purpose-led interventions for communities across the country. Because there's a lot that we can do if we come together, if we forge public-private partnerships. A lot of impact, a lot of difference can be made to people's lives. And we need to do this together.
Well, let's hope that's something we can see in the near future. So Nish, you've spoken or you touched a little bit on this, that it's so as Sri Lanka's premier real estate luxury agency run by women, how do you redefine the experience for high net worth individuals in the property market?
So it's like this. I think everything is built on trust, right? So I think the important part is that our clients trust us and they give us their deeds. They tell us their experience and what they want. And they work on trust with us, and we build that relationship where they will trust us to do anything. They give us their documents, and that is one aspect of it. And another aspect of it is the culture that we have at the moment is we have a lot of brokers talking and dealing with the same property, and it's sometimes a menace for the client. So we want to break that also, where one person is handling it and they have the trust, and they know that they are in safe hands, and whatever want will be taken care of. That is mainly our goal.
Amazing. So Lakshan, on to the last question for you. We are dealing with an entirely new generation taking over the workforce. How are you helping your clients deal with this change in trend, I suppose?
So, Tanya, that is a very interesting question. And we are living in a time, in a day and age where for the first time in civilization, 4 generations are working together at the same time. Whether it be in an office setting, whatever government setting, 4 generations, 4 gens together at the same time. So this is very challenging, yet a very exciting transition. That's how I feel. Many senior leaders that we work with and meet with feel that Gen Zs lack commitment or drive, and that is really the topic. Do I understand Gen Zs? Gen Zs have the same view of Gen X, Gen Y, and the baby boomers. But the reality I find is that they simply, I mean the Gen Z generation, value different things than the older generations. And what I mean by this is they want to work for companies, we often find, that stand for something meaningful, not just a paycheck end of the month. They need purpose. They're driven by purpose. Do they prioritize work-life balance? Absolutely. More so than the older generations, even like us, like me. Because I think a lot of the older generations, we saw working long hours as a sort of a badge of honor that we receive for working long hours. But Gen Zs, it's work-life balance. Their communications, expectations, professional demeanor, behaviors, oftentimes, we could look at misleading or misinterpreting what it actually means. And by older management, I mean. So that's dangerous. So we need to be able to decipher what actually they're trying to get across. I often say this in my coaching and mentoring and leading. We need to listen to understand versus listen to respond. There's a big difference in active listening. So at Solutions Ground, this is what we try to achieve. We try to bridge this gap. We try to bridge this gap where we provide leadership training for senior management, helping them understand and engage with the Gen Zs effectively, because they are so talented, but that talent has to be unlocked and has to be made effective. Soft skills training for the Gen Zs, whether it's EQ, emotional intelligence, workplace adaptability, or even navigating corporate structures that you find in today's day and age. But what I really find is that if you can foster an environment, a culture in the workplace that has mutual trust and respect between the gens, between all the generations, they're going to ensure that we attract young talent into our companies, but not just attract and acquire. We retain those talent and we nurture that talent to become the future leaders that Sri Lanka needs.
It's an interesting perspective. Thank you. Nishani, the last question for you in this segment. What is next for you in real estate? What would be a dream project for you in Sri Lanka real estate?
Wow, so yes, a dream project would be now, our country is so beautiful, it's rich in heritage. So actually for me, the dream project would be to attract international billionaires, for them to come and invest in our country, for our country to have that kind of growth. Actually, that would be my dream project and my goal for the future.
Amazing. All right, thank you very much. And we've come to the end of the Q&A segment of the show. And on the other side, we have a fun game for the two of you.
Wow.
So we'll see you soon on the other side.
The latest issue of LMD is available at lmdmall.lk. You can also access the digital version on Press Reader, Maxter, our social media platforms and WhatsApp. The Voice of Business, a legacy of 30 years.
Alright, welcome back to segment 2, which is a fun little game. And what we have for you today is Never Have I Ever. So I will make a statement and then you raise the placard and show the side that is most appropriate to have an answer to the question. Okay, the first one. Never have I ever lied to impress someone. Okay. Never have I ever said I'm on my way while I'm still at home.
Oh no, I have.
That I have.
Oh my gosh.
Never have I ever stuck gum under a chair or table. Takes you back to school days. Oh, never have I ever shared someone else's secret.
Guilty.
Oh, oops.
Once.
Never have I ever told a really bad joke.
Gosh.
Why are you looking at Mike? Talking about teachers, never have I ever lied to a teacher.
Yeah, sure I have.
I think we've all. Never have I ever read someone else's diary. Nice. Never have I ever eaten dessert before dinner.
Oh, all the time, all the time.
Oh yeah.
Never have I ever put my shoes on the wrong feet. Never have I ever laughed so hard that the drink came out of my nose.
Oh gosh, so guilty of it.
Oh yes.
Never have I ever screamed while watching a scary movie. You watch scary movies?
Yes,
And
I love scary.
Love scares.
Alright. So this one, interesting. Never have I ever pretended to be sick to get out of work. Guilty as charged. Never have I ever lost a bet. Never have I ever spied on my neighbors.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
Never have I ever eaten what I knew was someone else's food.
Chocolates, 100%.
Never have I ever pulled a door that had the sign push on it. Never have I ever danced on a bar.
On a bar.
Okay, that's one for the bucket list for y'all, I suppose. Okay, never have I ever sung in the shower. Never have I ever re-gifted a gift. Never have I ever pretended to laugh at a joke I didn't get.
Oh gosh.
Interesting one. Never have I ever snooped through someone else's text messages.
No.
Text messages?
Yeah.
Was it mine? That you smoked through?
No, emails. Sorry. So with that, for that, no, I've never.
Never have I ever eaten food that fell on the floor.
Oh, sorry. This.
Never have I ever made a duck face when taking a selfie.
What face? Show the duck face? What's the duck face?
I'm not going to show it on camera.
Never have I ever Googled my own name to see what comes up.
I have.
Never have I ever fallen asleep during a movie.
I have.
Address.
Okay, last question. Very interesting one.
Oh no.
Never have I ever lied during this game of Never Have I Ever.
Oh.
Y'all are big
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we've come to the end of segment 2 and the end of the show. Thank you very much, Lakshan and Nish, for being on the show. It's lovely to have the two of you all with us. And
Thank you so much.
a fun little game we had. I suppose you all got to know a little bit of what up each other. Thank you once again and wishing the two of you all every success in what you all do. And blessings coming your way as well. And all the very best.
Thank you. Thank you so much. There you have it. These are our answers to the questions and the games.
Be sure to check Living's Instagram and Facebook pages for the latest episode of Living Gets Real.